Time is one of the most paradoxical things we experience. We tend to think we understand it because we can measure it. Seconds, minutes, hours, years. It all seems precise and objective. But the deeper science examines human perception, the clearer it becomes. Time as an experience does not exist on its own. It is created by the brain. Neuroscientists have long concluded that there is no single time center in the brain. There is no organ or area that counts seconds like a clock. Instead, the sense of time emerges from the work of multiple systems at once: memory, attention, emotions, and the perception of change. And that is why time can feel different even under identical conditions. Physical time is always stable, but subjective time, the time we experience internally, is flexible. It can stretch, compress, vanish, or feel infinite. And all of this is the result of how the brain processes information. When we live through a moment, the brain is continuously solving one task. Should this be stored in memory? If a moment seems important, novel, or emotionally intense, it is recorded in detail. If not, the brain conserves resources, and almost nothing is stored. And this difference in memory density shapes our perception of time. Research shows that we do not judge time directly. We judge the number of events that occur within a period. If there are many events, the period feels long. If there are few, it feels short. That is why a year full of new experiences seems long in memory, while a routine year feels like it passes in an instant. This is especially evident in childhood. From a neuroscience perspective, a child's brain is constantly in learning mode. It is actively forming new neural connections because almost all information is encountered for the first time. Every new face, place, or rule requires processing. This makes memory dense and subjective time slow. As we age, the situation changes. Most of what happens is already familiar. The brain recognizes patterns and stops recording details in depth. This mechanism is called neural adaptation. It is useful for survival, but has a side effect. Life begins to feel faster. It is important to understand, an adult does not experience fewer events than a child, but the adult remembers fewer of them. And that is what creates the feeling that time is slipping away. Interestingly, experiments show that we often misjudge duration in the moment. For example, during boring or stressful situations, time may feel slow. But later, when recalling that period, we perceive it as short. This phenomenon is called the temporal perception paradox. The reason is that there are two different mechanisms of time: perception of time here and now, evaluation of time in memory. In the moment, time depends on attention and expectation. In memory, it depends on the amount of detail stored. Therefore, a short but rich experience can feel like a long stretch of life. Emotions play a key role. Studies show that the amygdala, a brain region associated with emotions, enhances memory encoding. When someone experiences strong emotions, the brain records the event with heightened detail. That is why emotional moments feel longer. This explains why people who survive accidents or extreme situations often report that time slowed down. In reality, the brain was simply processing information at an unusually high density. Attention is also crucial. Experiments with mindful awareness show that when a person is fully focused on the present moment, subjective time expands. This is because attention increases the number of sensory details entering memory. Modern research confirms that subjective time is linked not to clocks, but to changes in consciousness. Where there are no changes, time seems to disappear. Where changes are frequent, it becomes noticeable. Memory plays a decisive role here. We tend to think we live now, but in reality, we almost always live in reconstruction. The past is not an archive, it is a reassembled story.
Each time we recall an event, we partially rewrite it, and the more often we revisit it, the more significant and long it seems. That is why photos, videos, and stories enhance the perception of life lived. They do not just remind us, they activate memory, adding new layers of perception. Ultimately, it becomes clear. Time is not a stream in which we float. It is a byproduct of brain activity. Where there is attention, emotion, and change, there is time. Where there is none, there is emptiness between dates. We cannot change the physical flow of time, but we can change the density of our experience. And that determines whether life feels long or short. Paradoxically, time passes fastest when we stop noticing it. Conversely, when we are truly present, it seems to slow down, becoming rich, full, and tangible. In this sense, time is neither an enemy nor a resource. It is a mirror of our attention, and the way we experience it says not about clocks, but about ourselves.